Can you hear me? Yes, everyone can hear me, yeah? Sweet. Let's put this over here. Yeah, I don't know what happening there. I'm like streaming off my camera, and I tried to do volume through camera audio, but it's just not working. So, yeah, well. Right, how is everyone? You all good? Let's just move this like here. Okay, there we go. As you can see. Yeah, I'm good, Shay, man. I'm good. Right. So there was going to be a video today, but unfortunately, when I've recorded the video again, I've had more issues. So if I've had issues on this and I've had issues on the actual video, then kind of sounds like my mic's done in. So we are doing a live Q&A. You can ask me questions about tattooing, ask me whatever you like, and yes, we will go from there. I'll probably do this for maybe like an hour, maybe, and yeah, then I'm gonna go play some new Call of Duty. So, any questions? Fire away. If you just want to talk shit, let's talk shit. Whatever you want. Yeah, like I've been so busy, dude. Like I've not even played it that much. I might have had like two online games, but the campaign is mint. Like I think I'm on the mission. Which mission am I on? If you got that far, I'm on the one where you're rescuing the guy from the prison. Is the what's his name? I don't want to give away spoilers, but yeah, I'm on the prison mission anyway. But yeah, I'd agree, man. I'd agree. The campaign's pretty damn good. My boss at this new shop apprenticeship job for no reason is treating me shitty, and I can't get a reason why. Um, if you can elaborate on how they are treating you shitty, I might be able to give you some guidance as to if they're just being a dick or if it's just part of the apprenticeship. A lot of studios, unfortunately, you will be treated like shit in your apprenticeship. It's just the way the industry is. Everything like tattoo related in the industry is mint, but the industry itself, as you know, some people in the industry are just dicks. So let me know if you know what's going on, and I'll try and give you some feedback. Um, okay, not talking to me unless she thinks I'm doing something wrong. Uh, what, like general chit chat? Like just like if they've took you on as an apprentice, but they don't want to talk to you unless you're doing something wrong. Like I don't understand why. Well, just elaborate a little bit more for us, please, Neil. Um, I struggle with understanding the essence of voltage, like what differentiates a 7 versus an 11. I have an Injector Flight Nano. Great machine, by the way. I used that machine for a good 5 years. Do you have to move your hand faster? Greetings from Norway. Yeah, so the slower the volts is, the slower the machine's running. It's as simple as that. So, um, an 11 volt compared to 7 is a massive difference. If you are using 11, if you went from 7 and you had one speed and then you went to an 11, one hand speed, I mean, and then you went to an 11 volts and you use the same hand speed, odds are, depending on what you're doing, you're going to cause some trauma. So, yeah, there's a big difference. Hey, Chris, here I am able to ask anything I want. And my mind goes blank. Yeah, man. Feel you, dude. I feel you. It's like when a client will come in and they'll say, you know, free reign, do whatever you want, and you've got all these ideas, but then as soon as you get that, you're completely stumped to what to do. I take a different approach in my studio, teach on fake skin and not sweeping the floor, etc. I mean, it's a tough one, Shane. Like it really is because to a certain extent, an apprentice is getting taught, something that's gonna like go with them throughout the rest of their career. If they actually do continue tattooing, it's something that they can do for the rest of their life, and it's a skill that never goes away. So I do think a part of it is actually earning that. And if you are doing general studio upkeep, then that's a thing that should be done. Just but it's whoever how you run your studio is how you run your studio. How you teach your apprentice is how you teach your apprentice. But I do think to some extent you do need a little bit of studio maintenance just from like a general standpoint of like hygiene and stuff like that. So okay, where are we at? How do I know what voltage to change to when what's that? How do I know what voltage to change to when going from like a 9 to a 3? Um oh my god. So generally a three liner is going to be a lot more of a like it's just a bad needle to use. So if you are using sorry, it's not a bad needle to use. How do I explain this? Like a 3 is a lot like it requires less power or less of a hit to push in because it's a lighter needle. There's less needles getting pushed. So like you don't need as much voltage to push that 3 as much as you would for a 9 round liner or a 9 round shader. So if you go higher on the voltage on a lower needle, it's just going to be too much and it's going to absolutely plow it in, and more than likely you're going to blow out. So I would probably put it down maybe a full volt. So if I line on the shader at 10 volts. If I'm lining with a 3, I know that 8.5 to 9 volts is going to be sufficient for that. Odds are, Kevin, you probably just like yeah, you've got to find the balance between your hand speed and the voltage of the machine and the needle that you're using. Once you have all those three, you're pretty much golden. But if you're tearing up, bring the voltage down. Once you've brought the voltage down, if your lines aren't going in, bring your voltage back up or slow your hand speed down and just try to find a nice balance. How do I approach filler work? I've seen some pretty well done tattoos that look kind of off because of the composition and filler work around it. Um, so it's hard for me to like to say without like seeing any tattoos or see oops drop that it's hard for me to say without seeing any tattoos or the kind of filler work what you're talking about, but generally um fill my rule of thumb for filler work is just to keep within the theme. As long as you keep within the theme of what you're doing, you should be fine. Like if I was to do let's say Japanese, right? Say I was to do like a Japanese sleeve and I had a geisha, a dragon, a food dog, all that stuff. And then I like used a background filler of religious, like clouding or something. It doesn't go like Japanese, you need wind bars, you need water, all that jazz. So that kind of stuff, if you're doing something like that, then yeah, like it's definitely gonna be out of place. But if you just keep with the theme of what you're doing, I think you should be fine. And if all else fails, if you cannot think of anything, then just do a nice smooth shade in the background that contrasts between what's around that particular area. Um, when you have some free time, would love to have you guest spot at my place. Let's sort it out, man. Let's sort it. I'll come do a guest spot, dude. Yeah, no, let's we'll get that sorted, man. If you were to teach someone for 2 weeks, what would you charge them? I was charged approximately 1,800 quid. Needless to say, I started the tattooing 101 course instead. Um oh my god. Again, it's hard because like you're learning a skill that's gonna go with you through life. Like you once you've learned how to do the skill, you are never ever going to lose that skill. So 1,800 quid to learn, you know, there is you can't put a value on knowledge. You just can't. Me personally, when I was like learning, when I wanted to push myself to get better, what I did is everything in my power to to pay for like DVDs to 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 just soak up as much knowledge as I could. Um, so I mean, if you got if it was 1,800 quid for 2 weeks and you received something from that, you got something from it, then I think it's worth it. But if you didn't get anything from it, then it's certainly not worth it. And as for what I would charge, I would just do a seminar. I could teach someone in a 2 day seminar for 500 quid, like things that they will. I honestly, in a seminar, I could take someone from here to here, like levels above, in 2 days, easy. So, and that's for like whatever I decide to charge. So, but it's definitely less than 1,800 quid. Um, I did learn something, yes, and at the time I thought it was worth it. However, he was overbooked and had a little time for me. See, this is bullshit. This is what I hate about tattoo courses, right? If you are doing tattoo courses, right? I was gonna put together a tattoo course, right? And this tattoo course would have been, I think, the best tattoo course around, and it would have been cheaper, and you would have learned a shit ton more than like any of these other tattoo courses, right? Not to mention the people that like put out these tattoo courses, some of them, not all of them, but some of them aren't even that good. They're not even that good of a tattooist, right? And they shouldn't be putting out like these types of courses. They just shouldn't, because they're not that good. So if I was to do it, like like I'd kill it, but this is it. Like if it kicked off and loads of people were buying it, you just you will not have the time to do it. Like currently, I'm tattooing. I am tattooing like day in, day out. Then I'm coming and doing videos. I'm editing videos until God knows what time, right? Then I've got to like do this tattoo course and deal with every single person's inquiry. And if you cannot do that, then there is no point in doing a tattoo course. Like you're paying to learn how to tattoo, but you have no guidance, right? The whole thing of a course is to have guidance, right? It's all right saying this is how you do this, but when you come back and say, well, I've done that and it's still not how I need it to be, and that person who taught you that course isn't there, it's bullshit. Like, it's bullshit. If you're going to do a course, you need to be on hand all the time, 24/7, especially for the amount of money they're charging for these courses. Uh, I have a normal Sol Nova 3.5. I really love it, but I also want something harder hitting, maybe. Do you think the Bishop Packer is a good combo? From what I understand, I think the Bishop One Packer is a 4. I think it's a 4. So it should be harder hitting than the Sol Nova. However, I think the Sol Nova do a higher like stroke as well. Is it 4.2? So it's 4.2, so it should the Packer should be a harder hit. Um, but yeah, if the Sol Nova go higher and you love that machine, then just get another Sol Nova with a higher cam. But the Packer is mint. Like I'm like still thinking about the Packer and I'll probably go to it, but um yeah, the Packer's awesome. But if you love the Sol Nova and it goes higher, then get another one of those. Okay. I want to be a tattoo artist, but I have irritable bowel syndrome. How do I overcome this? Will clients tolerate it? Yes, of course, clients will tolerate it. Would you tolerate if your client had irritable bowel syndrome and they were going to toilet all the time? Wouldn't be ideal, but you'd tolerate it. Yeah, but you can always reflect that in your price. So yes, of course they'll tolerate it. Um, I've asked you this before. I still can't find it. I pack black around the same as lining. Now my shading, I really don't know how much to drop it. Uh, you should always come lower. All right, when you're packing, come lower on your volts than what you're lining at. Lining is a lining volt is too much for packing, so just come down. Again, it's hard for me to tell you because I don't know your hand speed. I don't know techniques that you're using. I don't know what machine you're using. I don't know what needles you're using. So um, it's yeah, it's super. It's hard to say, but I would say maybe 2 volts, 1.5 to 2 volts. Come down 1.5 to 2 volts and try that. Uh, how much time do I put into my stencils? Not as much anymore as I used to, but I still, depending on the piece, can put anything from 45 minutes to an hour and a half to 2 hours into a stencil, depending on what I'm doing. What's one of your favorite tattoo artists? Dude, this is the video that I was going to put out today. Straight up, mate. That's the video I was putting out today. I was doing top 5 tattoo artists, right? That I follow and that I love and who's my favorite. and I've done the video, and the fucking volume is not on. Like the whole video, 30-minute video, just gone like that. Like, oh mate, I'll refilm it. I will redo it. But like, oh man, I was pissed off. Like I was well pissed off. The video was a banger. But spoiler alert, because I will still do this video. I'll probably put it out the the following. Um Ralph Nonweiler, man, like, it just blows my mind. He just, I can't tell you how much he blows my mind. And in the video, in the top 5, I'll go through what he does and stuff like that, that, you know, of why he blows my mind and stuff. But Ralph Nonweiler, man, for me is just, he's the fucking pinnacle of tattooing. Is Riaz on your list? Oh man, no, he's not. Ah, dude, I think he's a good tattooist. Do not get me wrong. I think he's a good tattooist. However, I see flaws in his work that is just, it's just hard to look past. And that's not to bash him as a tattooist or bash him as a content creator and what he's doing on YouTube and stuff. But I see so many flaws in his work. What I do love about him, about his pieces, is the amount of that he does, and the composition of his pieces that he puts together. But no, he's not on my top 5. He doesn't even make my top 10, to be honest. But you know, I probably won't make his top 50. So uh can you please recommend some good grips for the Inkjet to Flight Nano? I've only used disposables so far, but they feel a bit wrong. I only used disposables on the grip. I had my Inkjet to Flight Nano had a Cheyenne grip on it, and I used disposable. Oh my god, what were they called? Um, what were they called? I had like I want to say True Tubes or something like that. Like they did disposable like grips, and they did disposable like full grips. Um and I had one of those on and they felt fine. But I know if they still do them, I don't know if they still do them because I've not, you know, I don't use grips anymore. I make my own. But Gorilla Grip or Grenade Grip or something like that was a pretty good one. So you might want to look into that. Um, that sucks. Where do you find inspiration? Oh man. Um, I don't, I go through things where like I'm completely not inspired to tattoo at all, right? And I go through peaks where I am just completely inspired to tattoo. So it all depends on where I'm at in my own head to what I get inspired by. Sometimes I'll get inspired by a new like artist, like a new technique or something. Like at one point I was super inspired by opaques. Um and I wanted to try those opaques. There's a guy who does opaques and he's also on my top 5. And I'm fucked off that this video has failed, but I will put it out. Um so I was super inspired by opaque. So then I started to, you know, want to do opaques. Then I'll get super inspired by something else, and you know, somebody that puts tons of texture in or tons of detail. So I'll get inspired by them. Then I'll get inspired by somebody that just has super smooth shading and stuff that like makes mine look choppy. So it all depends. Like it depends what mood I'm in, really. But um you know, I also get inspiration from outside sources of tattooing as well. So I'll see something that somebody's doing, and if I can, you know, translate that into tattooing, then I will. Um, who Ralph who is called Ralph Nonweiler. He's on Instagram and it's just his name, Ralph Nonweiler. Thomas Carley Jollier is the Everest for me. He's very good. He's very, very good at opaques. Like he's very, very good. Yes. Um, how would you go? How would you go to tattoo artists asking to work with or for them? Uh, if you want to work like in a studio, then just bring a good portfolio. Like it's as simple it is as simple as that. It's as clean cut as that. Just have a good portfolio and be a good tattoo artist. And then if you're good, you'll get in. If you're not, then you won't get in, right? Because it's just it's just the way it is. It's just the way it is. If you're good, you'll get in. Simple as that. So just go say, I'm looking for a job. If you're already like tattooing and stuff, and then if they like you, they'll let you in. If not, then not. Go home, practice. Don't let it discourage you. Go back, ask the same studio in 6 months' time. Show them that you are continually working to improve. You know, don't be the guy though that just emails tons of tattoo studios. But then you also might want to be the guy that does go into tattoo studios and gets tattooed by these people that you want to work with. Get to know them. Yeah. It's easier to get into a studio once you get to know someone. Okay, Bishop makes a great disposable. There you go. Sneak peek, give us who's your number five. Oh, dude, I can't. I can't do it. Like none of them are like in order, like because they're all like incredible. But Ralph is number one. Like he really is. Like Ralph Nonweiler, and I said this in the video that I previously did that's not uploaded now, which is why I'm doing this. That he's more than a tattoo artist. Ralph Nonweiler is more than a tattoo artist. He is, and this is swearing, but like he is a fucking pioneer of tattooing. Like Ralph Nonweiler does things that we never thought were possible until he did them. Yeah. He's just levels, man. There's levels to this game, and he's like level fucking 9,000. He's too good. Speaking of Ralph, do you think his tattoos will hold well? I have seen Ralph's work. I have talked to Ralph. I have had also a critique on my work by Ralph. I've seen Ralph's work healed. Yes, I do. He is solid. He's a solid tattooer. Now, textures and stuff like that, right? Now, I did a video a few weeks ago where I was saying, you know, people are paying for a now tattoo. They're not paying for a 10 or 15-year tattoo, right? The only people that care about what a tattoo is going to look like in 10 to 15 years is tattoo artists. But regardless of whether you put that detail in or not, like it's still going to do the same thing, right? So the tattoo is still going to look a lot shitter than it did when it was first done. So to me, it makes sense to put it in anyway, and the mind will make it up. So even if it starts to like smush together, your mind can see something like, say, fur, and you've put loads of texture in the fur, and then it's all just like merged together in 15 years' time. You still know it's fur. So to me, it makes sense to put it in. And anyway, a good use of black and a good use of contrast should hold it up regardless. So yeah, Ralph's works, man. I've seen it healed. It's just incredible. Um, Advice for you when you're struggling to fill your diary. Oh my god. Uh I've been there. I was there not so long ago where I was super quiet. I wasn't getting any work in. And honestly, the single best thing that you can do to fill your diary, right, is market yourself properly. So there's a lot that goes into marketing. It's not just a simple case of, you know, doing a Facebook like post, reach post. So it like pushes out. There's more to it than that. But just learn how to market yourself. Word of mouth is not good enough. It just isn't anymore. It used to be, right? Because that was the only source. But now it's not the only source. And there's things a billion times better than that. So keep yourself like present in people's feeds, and learn to market yourself the best possible way that you can. Probably do like a marketing course or something. If you're struggling that bad, it'd be worth doing a marketing course. Um, where are we? Where are we? Let me just move this camera because this is like, oh, just move this back actually. Here we go. Right. Okay. Advice. Advice for you. Yeah, I've just done that. Have you ever tried airbrushing? I haven't, Shane. No, I was gonna. Like, I looked into it. I looked into getting the air compression thing and everything, but I just never got around to it, man. But you're killing it, man. You really are killing it with the airbrushing for sure, man. You inspire me, dude. Um, how often do you think you'll be doing live Q&A? This is great help to be able to pick your brain. Thank you, Chris, for all that you do. I'll be on here, man, like for uh I don't know until the questions stop. I don't know. I have no time. I was gonna come on for like an hour, but I'll do longer if the questions keep coming. I don't mind. Um and thank me, but thank you, Kevin. You guys watch. So you guys support me, so it's me that should be thanking you guys. How do you deal with clients that who miss appointments? um there's nothing you can really do. There's nothing you can do about a client that misses an appointment. What you've got to be wary of is if your client's missing an appointment, they may tell you one thing, but they may have another reason. Maybe they don't want to tell you. So they'll just tell you something and then you get pissed off by it because, yeah, fair enough, you've lost money that day, but you can't, like, it happens. It's just the part and parcel of the job. People will cancel, right? And people will tell you that they're going to get booked in with you, but they'll go somewhere else. And like, this is the stuff that happens. The saving grace is just taking deposits because at least then you get paid for the time that you've put in for any design work. But also, if you take a higher deposit, there is a lot less chance that anybody will cancel. Um, I'm still trying to find my style. How do you find out what or the style was? Okay, so you are the style. Like, you are the style. What people need to understand is that you as a tattoo artist and the way that you put tattoos onto skin or the way that you put art onto paper is that is you. You are that style. You could take like five artists with the same image, and every single tattoo, although will look the same, representing the actual image of the person it is, they will look completely different in style, lighter, darker. Like, so you are your style. What about Franco, the owner of Bishop, and Bob Tyrrell? Bob Tyrrell, again, like, he's another he's another guy that was up there for me when I first started. A master black and grey artist. Where I think he is now is nowhere near. I'm that's not to disrespect Bob Tyrrell. He's a fucking amazing artist. But if Bob Tyrrell was to come on the scene now, he wouldn't be known. He definitely wouldn't be known. Franco also. These are the guys that were that started it and then they've just, built with the industry. But these guys aren't good enough now to to be noticed if there was to be noticed now, if that makes sense. Ralph Nonweiler's Instagram is, I'll put it in the chat now. I think it's spelled like this. I think it's spelled like that. Chris, am I right in thinking you do one-to-ones? If yes, how's best to contact you and book pricing, etc. Yes, Dave, I do one-to-ones. There is three different one-to-ones. There is one-to-one where you come and watch me tattoo, ask you questions and stuff. There is one-to-one where we use fake skin and we go through technique and stuff like that. And then there is a one-to-one where you bring your client, you tattoo your client, and it's like a uh like like a collab type thing between me and you tattooing your client. So we'll go through the tattoo process, everything. There is a email address, which is, give me a sec. Oh, I don't even know my own emails. I think it's the seminar one. Let's go on a video. Be on a video. Is it on this one? So look. How do I not know my own email? Yeah, it's ravageseminar@gmail.com. So if you want to drop me an email to ravageseminar at gmail.com, then we can get you sorted. But yeah, I do one-to-ones. Does it cause problems as a pigment to get new colors by mixing paint together? And how can we decide the most suitable colors according to skin tones? Oh, sorry, guys. Mixing paint. Just elaborate for that. Like, do you mean mixing ink, like pigments? If you mean a person's skin tone against like colors, then generally um inks are pretty good these days, so you can pretty much get away with quite a lot. I honestly feel like watching these people work, it can be a bit discouraging. Like they're freakishly good. Uh, like you guys, man. I put this like this. I put these videos up, right, of the ones that don't like work, and you guys ask the questions of stuff that I say in them. It's fucking freaky, but you cannot compare your chapter 1 to someone else's chapter 30. You can't. Otherwise, you'll not get anywhere because you'll quit at every turn, every time you see something. So yeah, they are freakishly good. And I see tattoo artists where I'm like, why do I bother? But you can't think that. You think it, yeah, but move on from it straight away and use it to inspire you. You just can't you can't do that. You'll not get anywhere. Did you ever tattoo Ben Fisher? No, I did not. Ben Fisher. Oh, dude. Um, yeah. Let's not talk about that one. Um, I was supposed to did the design, showed him the design. He liked the design, and he went and got tattooed elsewhere. So we'll just leave it at that. Ben as a guy, I like the guy. I like the guy. He when I was speaking to him, he does speak. I've a little bit of sense to some things that he says. We do disagree on things tattoo related and stuff. But yeah, I didn't tattoo him. But there you go. Do you find any differences using pre-made grey washes compared to using your own? Whilst fresh and also healed. I used to make my own grey washes, but there is absolutely no consistency with making your own grey washes. There's consistency while ever you're using the same size ink cups, for example. But say you run out of medium ink cups and you need to use a large ink cup, then your ratios are off, then your drops are off, your water's off. So I used to use my own pre-made ones, but sorry, I used to use my own just using black, but then I went to pre-made because it's just consistent across the board. And as for fresh versus healed, they're only going to heal as light and as dark as the tones that you make. So there's no difference in healing as to whether pre-made or making your own heals a tattoo better or anything like that. Because no, that's not true. There sure is a fine line between inspiration and quit. Yep, yes, there is. Big one. Absolutely. My favorite airbrush artist affected me like 10 years ago, and now I learned from him through inspiration, and now I consider myself up there. Dude, yeah, like exactly that. Um, Hi, is it Gennaro? I'm sorry if I butcher your name there. That sucks. Fame goes to some folks' heads. Dude, like, mate, fame in the tattoo industry, right, is like being a famous fisherman, right? Nobody knows who you are unless you're in the industry. Like, this is what I don't understand about like people that have, artists that get like that. Like, you're acting like you're like the next fucking like Kardashian or something. Like, nobody gives a shit. Like, people do not give a shit. Like, the general public, the only people that give a shit are tattoo artists. So yeah, fuck that. Do you suggest using bug pin needles for realism? Absolutely, 100% yes. Um, Bug pins are uh, a tighter needle. You can use 10 or you can use 8 gauge. I use 10 gauge for the most part on bug pins. And it's just 10 gauge. Well, I think what is it? It's 8 gauge that can get. An 8 gauge can get, if you use the 7 mag, an 8 gauge can get 11 needles in it. And I think a 10 gauge, do you know what? I can't even remember what a 10 gauge, the size difference is for 10 gauge. So I'm not going to say. But an 8 gauge is like in a 7, you can get 11. So it's just a tighter grouping. So to me, that brings a more, a smoother black and grey. See if I've missed any questions. Go back, miss any questions. Have a look. What about Nico Hernando? Who's that? Who's Nico Hernando? The tattoo artist? Or have I like missed a conversation here? Oh, do you mean Nico Tordo? I think you might mean Nico Tordo. Yeah, Nico. If you're on about Nico Tordo, then yeah, Nico's good. Like Nico's really good. Nico's got his own style when it comes to color. That like you definitely know when what's a Nico piece. Um, which technique do you prefer for shading? Mm, probably. Mm, what technique? I I'm learning a new technique at the minute, so I can't really I don't want to say until I have learnt it. But there's there's a technique that I use, which is the pendulum motion, or the back and forth motion, or the brush motion, whatever you want to call it. That's currently the go-to technique that I use, but I'm currently messing around with technique and learning a different technique to do things. So that potentially could be the better one, depending on the situation. What we got? Check back. Oh, here's a question. What's best needle for dot shading? Like dot work or actual three liner stuff like I do also? If that'd be the case, then three liner for three liner work for sure. Because if you ever get into doing three liner stuff, um, if you're ever getting into doing if you ever get into doing three liner stuff and you don't use a three liner, then and use maybe a 5 or a 7 with freeliner. When I'm doing freeliner, I still want the freeliner to be freeliner, but I also want it to, when it's healed, have the look of freeliner but have the sort of smoothness of normal black and gray also. um so preference is a big thing, I think, with it, but for me, a 3 is just killer. But and a 5, if you go up 5 or 7, then your dots are just going to be a lot bigger and maybe a lot more spaced out as well. Ralph and Vega only tattoo on backstroke. No, they do not. Ralph and David Vega do back and forth. Vega does the back motion, and Ralph does the back motion. Yeah, but they do pendulum. Vega does back motion just for lights, by the way. He doesn't do a back motion for anything else other than his lights. He uses pendulum for his midtones and his darks. How old were you when you realized this is what you wanted to do? Oh my god. 20. I've been tattooing like, so I was maybe, what am I now? 34 now. So I think I was 22. Yeah. So I was 22. So, but I did not want to be a tattoo artist, right? Believe it or not, I didn't want to be a tattoo artist. I had no aspirations to be a tattoo artist. It's not like I grew up thinking, "Oh my god, I right want to be a tattoo artist." Like I never ever a tattoo artist ever entered my head. It was only the fact that I saw um what was it called? Miami Ink and Ellie Ink, and I thought this looks cool. All right. Well, oh, thank you. Yeah, I'm just doing a live Q&A. Thank you. Oh, noodles. All right. So where were I? Yeah, like I watched Miami Ink and I watched Ellie Ink and I just thought it looked cool. And then I just happened to be with a girl at that time who knew her friend had a friend, her husband or boyfriend at that time, that was a tattoo artist, and she put me in contact with him. Still didn't know whether I wanted to be doing tattoos or anything. Um, then I started talking to him. He showed me that my drawings were absolutely terrible and just shockingly bad. So then I went back to the drawing board, like literally, and started drawing, but still talking to him about tattoos. Still didn't know if I wanted to do it, but then I bought a machine off for him, tattooed my own leg, and then I was hooked. And I've never looked back. Yeah, like Ellie Ink, like a lot of the industry hated it. Like they hated Ellie Ink and they hated Miami Ink and what was the other one that was around? Like some road one, like that went round in a coach or something. Um, but it did wonders for the industry. It really did. Hey dude, question. Do you really need to know how to draw to get into tattooing or just some elements from drawing like understanding shadow and light? No, you do not need to learn how to draw to be a tattoo artist, depending on the style that you want to do. Like I could teach anyone to tattoo and I could teach anyone to tattoo like dot work, for example, right? You could be a tattoo artist that just copies stuff off of a wall that does flash. So no, you don't need to learn how to draw. You don't need to necessarily be good at drawing to learn how to tattoo. If you want to be good at it, then yeah, learn. But no, you don't have to. Um, uh, do you think that painting will improve our tattooing skills, or is it a waste of time? Uh, mm, So for me, like drawing and painting and stuff like that only translates into artistic skill, and that is it. Like how you approach something or how you look at something, and you're able to do it. But drawing and painting and stuff like that doesn't translate into tattooing because it's completely different techniques. But still, obviously, paint and still draw because it'll improve you as an artist. Chris Garver is an awesome artist. Vega started out doing traditional and wasn't bothered about realism. Absolutely crazy. Now he's one of the best. I didn't know he started out as a traditional. Chris Garver is Japanese. Pretty sure it did. Was that Tim Hendricks? I'm pretty sure it was Garver that started out as Jap though. Okay, why is that showing? Show that. Okay. I feel like I'm a fair drawer, but I can't tattoo for shit. So I feel like there's a silver lining somewhere. Anyone can learn how to tattoo. Seriously, like anyone can learn how to tattoo. I would assume you need to be tattoo realism. Yeah. So like obviously, if you want to tattoo realism, then you need to learn how to draw realism and understand, how realism works and the fundamentals of realism and stuff like that. So yeah, you definitely need to know that. But standard tattooing, no. Okay, I wanted to buy round shaders to do small detailing and filling in small parts. What round shaders do you recommend? And if they are bug pins or standards, I use bug pins, round shaders all the time, 10 gauge 10. And the round shader that I recommend is a 5 round shader and a 9 round shader. Those I do every tattoo with those. So, and I can do every tattoo with those. Where are we? David Vega knew how to draw already, though. He went to art school. Okay. I'm really shit at drawing, but I'm decent tattooing, even realism. I've not drawn for like 10 years, man. So there you go. And I'm all right at tattooing. So, oh, you dick, Tash. I want to know how you're going to eat those noodles while on camera. Easy. Easy.
See that in the beard?
No. Shane's put, how's your rose?
My rose is really, really good. It's healed well.
Any tip on stipple tattooing? Yes, I did a video on freeliner tattoos. Go watch it. What did you say? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm just replying on the chat.
All right. Cool.
I show it, but I can't put on wearing.
Well, just Shane. She'll reply to you, dude. But yeah, it's good, man. What sort of pressure do you use when you're brushing shading technique? I'm struggling to find the sweet spot. Very, very light. Extremely light. Like people tell me that like the longest they've sat is 4 hours, 5 hours. And when they get tattooed by me, they can go for 14 hours. So I'm very light. How's trash polka mixed with realism, do you think? I think trash polka were like a style that just came out at the right time. That's a style, but like yeah, it just came out at the right time, and it was it was something that people hadn't seen before, so it took off. What do I think of it now, though? I think it's all right. I think it's all right, but I do think it's more of a passing style than anything. I don't think it's going to stick around for years and years and years to come. I'm going to have some noodles while I wait for the next question. This is going to be messy.
Is Shane somebody who watched when you tattooed me then?
Yeah, Shane's he's been a long time. You've spoken to him lots of times. It's been a long time sub and supporter at channel. Yeah, he's awesome.
Apologise to him for how whiny I were that day.
I think he commented.
He did. He gave me some bounce back.
Yeah.
Not going to win.
Yeah. Okay, where are we at?
I'll read them. You eat your noodles.
Do you know Alex De Passe? Yes, I know. Well, I don't know him personally, but I know who he is. Yeah. Oh, that looks grim. Can the artist do something for clients so it won't hurt them while getting a tattoo, like during the tattoo. Yeah, there's like Bactine and there's like a few other sprays that you can use to get them through, but you can't use them until the skin's already broken, otherwise it won't work. Other than that, there's numbing creams, but when the numbing cream wears off, they're going to find it a lot harder. So other than that, it'd just be a case of not going over the same area loads of times, just keeping it nice and light, not having your machine absolutely smashing in an area and overworking and stuff like that. How much would you charge for an average portrait tattoo? My daily rate is 400, and it just depends on how big the portrait is and stuff. So, and how much details in it. Sometimes a portrait can take 2 days. So,
Have you shared your recent portrait on YouTube?
No.
Joker.
No, not yet. I'm waiting for the thing on her. Do the 30 reels in 30 days thing. Where do you guys live? I did my degree in Leeds. I live like what?
25 minutes.
25 minutes away. 25 minutes away from Leeds. Shane put you sat awesome.
Oh, thanks, Shane. It hurt me that day.
How? Okay. Where's the furthest away you went for a tattoo convention? Man, I usually kept like quite local on tattoo conventions because this is the thing about tattoo conventions, right? It's all right being at a tattoo convention that's international, right? And you can win awards there and you can meet up with friends and you can have a laugh. But like that's not going to get you any work in, right? The whole idea of a convention for me is to promote myself. It's marketing to get work in. So I keep it as local as I can, because then more people are going to know that I'm local and they're going to come to me. They're going to see me. Whereas if I did one over in the States, I would do one over in the States. But odds are, is the client really going to like see my work and then travel all the way from the States to get a tattoo by me? Probably not.
You've had a client travel from the Netherlands to come and get tattooed by you?
Yeah, Netherlands, Iceland.
Iceland?
Yeah.
Sorry, wrong.
Yeah. But that's because it's cheaper. Okay. Let's not forget, everyone, Chris Ravage is on the list of top tier eyes. Thanks, man. I'm not, but thank you. What do you think of adding white to grey wash? Never done it. I see no need to do it. The only like you're not gonna see it when it's healed. Like you're just not. So no, I don't. Nah. The only thing I had white in is after the tattoo, and even then, I'm very minimal on white also. What for you is the hardest part of the body to tattoo? And do you use bug pins or normal curve mags for fur and hair? You rock. Well, thank you very much. I use bug pins all the time. All the time. When it comes to hair and fur, sometimes I'll use a straight mag, but majority of the time I'm using the curved bug pin. And the hardest part on the body to tattoo, it's probably gonna be like a stomach, or ribs are quite hard. Like, but it depends. Like you can do like a simple line tattoo that goes straight down someone's spine. For example, you did one line that went straight down someone's spine. That area is not hard to tattoo, but the tattoo itself is hard to tattoo and pull off because it has to be straight and you'll be able to see every little bit of inconsistency. So it just depends, but generally, like ribs is pretty tough and stomach's pretty tough. Do you take on any apprentice at the minute? Also, what are you looking at when you're taking on an apprentice? Right, guys. Right. Yes, I currently have an apprentice. Right, and I don't know how I can show. Oh, can I bring up? Yeah, bring up Raf's one of Raf's drawings.
Oh wow. Okay.
Bring up the Thanos. So this is my apprentice, right? I'll show you like what like an apprentice should be at. Well, not should be at. No, that's harsh. But like I'm spoilt now. So like if I was to take another apprentice on after Raf, um like he has set such a standard for me personally.
I've got an album for it. I'm just trying to find it.
But I'll show you one of his drawings now if you can see it. Yeah, it's the Thanos. It's the Thanos.
The colour of it.
Either. So I don't know if you guys can see that. It might be a little bit bright actually. Can I hang on? Let me do the. I'll do the shutter speed. Give me a sec. Can you see that going down? So this doesn't actually show it very well at all. But like he is at a standard for me that is unreal. Like he is. What am I at? Well, yeah, there we go. He is like as an apprentice, as far as apprentice goes, like he's top black, man. He's top level. So like for me, looking for an apprentice, that's the standard that I'm looking for now. Because I want to learn people that are gonna be a million times better than me, and I want to put people into the industry where they can say, "Who's learnt you?" and then my name crops up. Like, so yeah. I feel you. I travel from Norway all the time. It's so much cheaper. Yeah, the guy from Iceland, right? So the guy that I tattoo from Iceland, he comes over, gets 2 days back to back tattooing, gets his flights back, gets his hotel, I think also, and it's cheaper than one full day in Iceland. So, yeah. Do you use standard needles when using liners? I always, for the most part, use bug pins. Always. Like it's majority. I think it's 10 gauge bug pins is the one that I'm using for everything. Like most of the time. Dude, that Spider-Man. Wow. Thank you, man. That Spider-Man. No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the Spider-Man. It was a fucking web on his hand. Like the Spider-Man was cool, man, but I did a web on his hand with a spider on it. Man, that took the fucking piss. No, it was on the. I did it on the last video, I think.
You did a real video.
No, I mean I put it in the last video.
Oh, I see. Sorry.
Yeah. So there's no point. What machine do I use at the moment? I am using a Bishop Wand shader. Do you have any tips for packing black? Yes, small, tight, consistent circles. Be methodical with it, and do not exceed the. If you're using a 7 mag, only go in 7 mag tight circles. Don't be doing a 7 mag but doing this. Right, you need to go tight with a 7 mag. 15 mag, only use a 15 mag. Don't be doing this. So yeah. I'm so sorry, guys. I'm eating. It looks disgusting.
I wouldn't have brought you noodles if I know you were still,
yeah.
you were still on the line.
How can I get any bush by laying in my bed and doing what? Hi, how can I get any bush by laying in my bed and doing basically nothing? Internet, my friend. Internet.
Any bush?
Mm. Would probably be cheaper to come that way. It's $1,280 Canadian for a day here, which is like 7 hours. Fuck me. I need to work over in these places. Like, I could travel over, do a week, like, say I had some digs and I didn't need to spend on hotels and stuff as well. Come back and I wouldn't need to tattoo for like 2 months. I'd be set. Your finger tattoos look pretty hardcore. I love it. Yes, they can hurt as well. Like, finger tattoos, don't recommend. Horrible things to get. Do you do more color or black and gray? Black and gray primarily. I do some color when I can be asked, but primarily black and gray. Do you have favorite inks? Not like brands, but specific colors, like Eternal Lipstick Red. Okay. So at one point when I was doing color, I was using Fusions. I can't remember the name of the inks, but there was a brand called Area 51. It was done by Chris 51, and he had like a nuclear green, and I used to like using that. You'd make shitloads. It's nuts. Yeah, I would. Guest spot somewhere over here. It's just finding the guest spot and then like getting the logistics sorted out and stuff. But I fully intend on doing a guest spot over in States or Canada at some point. Where can I get cool reference pictures for realism? I mean, like pro. Well,
let's take it on now.
Well,
announcement.
I can't announce it. I can't yet. No, there's things in the works, so all shall be revealed soon. But for now, I get all my reference from just I can take I take my own, like, and then I've got like Google and Pinterest and stuff. So, but keep an eye out. Keep an eye out. Some things are coming. Do you use your one shader when you do color? Yes, I do. So it's the one shader is a 3.5, which is perfectly fine for color. So yeah, I use the one shader for everything. Everything. I line with the one shader, shade with the one shader, I pack with the one shader, do color with the one shader. Yeah, man, Shane, defo, man. Drop me a message, dude. Just drop me a message on Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and we'll get it sorted. And we'll get that guest spot sorted as well. Any tips on cleaning the needle, like drying it up so you don't dilute your next ink? I just use water and then I just wipe it on my tissue that I'm using. There's nothing else really that I can say for that one. I know that is it Electrum? Is it Electrum? I know that like some company they do something called dip cap. It might be Bishop. I can't remember, but they do something called dip cap. You could probably try that. It's like you dip it. It's like you put water on a sponge and then you just put it in and like the sponge like cleans it off as you're pulling out and stuff. So pulling out, giggity. Oh, my mic. Is it turning you on me eating these noodles? What voltage do you use with your shader for lining, packing black, smooth shading, and also stippling? So stippling I use between 6.2 and 6.4. And for shading I use 9. And for lining I use 10. Between 9.5 and 10. To pack color, if I was to pack color, it would be on probably 8, maybe 8.5. Are you a big spicy person? Yes, I love spice. I'm actually doing like a plan for the 5,000 subscriber video that'll involve some spice somehow. So we'll see. Yeah, no problem, Jamie. That's fine. The chip challenge. I thought about the chip challenge. I really did. There's a video of me on YouTube doing the Carolina Reaper with my brother. It's on his channel. So I did think about doing the chip challenge. That's based on Carolina Reapers, I think. So I did look into it. It will destroy your anus. Yes, it does. It's always hotter on the way out. That Dolly Parton tattoo was phenomenal, brother. What grey wash setup do you use for that? I use, well, oh my, this is the thing, right? I did use silverback, right? And I've used silverback for the longest time. Like the longest time I've used silverback, but now the whole like tattoo reach shit that's come in, saying that all these inks are bad and they need to reformulate, which is bullshit, right? Now silverback are discontinuing in the UK, apparently. Whether it goes through or not, I don't know. So I've been, having to change because if I can't get all the silverback, then I need something else. So with the Dolly Parton, I used 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and black in the silverback. But now I am currently using world famous. And I tried the other day on the Marilyn Monroe portrait, Eternal. Not Eternal, Empire. Don't even go there with Empire, right? I'm sure they're a great company. And David Vega uses them and his shit looks fucking mint. But I used that Empire set and it was awful. Way, way too light. And the dark to the black, the difference is just stupid. Like it's like you would need like black, 2 other shades, and then Empire's dark to meet the requirement to get a smooth blend from black to the dark because it's the difference is that bad. Do you use green soap during the tattoo process? Are there any negatives to wiping with green soap? I do not use green soap. I use water only. It makes absolutely no sense to me to use a product that is meant to clean the skin thoroughly and take away your stencil. Like that just don't make sense to me. So I use water the whole time, even for color. Everything water. Water does just as good a job as green soap, and it preserves your stencil. I don't know how long I've subbed you on YouTube, but I've just searched up your Insta. Drop us a follow, my friend. Where do you get tattooed? dude, like when it comes to like getting tattooed, I get tattooed by just people that I like or friends and stuff. Like I gave my right arm to the guy that taught me, like that introduced me to the industry and taught me the first bits that I needed to know. Um, which I'm now, he was an apprentice when he did it, and I'm sure he will tell you it's not his best work. But now I'm thinking about getting that blacked out, and I'll go someone who does blackout. Um, I got tattooed on my chest by a really good artist called Adam. I got tattooed on my arm by another really good artist called Danny. So, like, I'm a client when it comes to getting my own tattoos, the same as everyone else. Do you use share machines? I have used share machines in the past. Yeah, I used the Thunder. I actually had the Shane Thunder was my second ever machine. My first machine was a Dragonfly, which is what I've got tattooed on my neck, around here somewhere, around the back. Then my second machine, yeah, was the Thunder, and then I also had the Shane Spirit. I've not tried the Nova or the Sol Nova or the Unlimited Pen or anything like that. I did try the Shane pen though, the first one that came out, which is all right to be fair. Oh, by the way, I'm new to the live stream. Will this be uploaded? Yes, it will be on the channel. But YouTube they've done it now where it's not all on like one bit. It's got like videos, then it's got shorts, then it's got lives. So you just have to click on the live bit and it'll be there for you. Do you think tattooing darker skin tone is harder? No, you just got to get rid of your lighter tones. But no, it's fine. I guess Empire did that on purpose so they can sell more bottles. I don't know. The thing is, right, is the transitions that unless Vega is doing something seriously different, which it could be like he gets a nice smooth blend from his black into his tones, right? And it's flawless. Which tells me, like, to be able to do that with Empire, you need to do something. Like, you need to add in. Maybe he's adding like making his own very dark wash by using the dark that they provide and then adding black into it or something. Like he's doing something other than using the four that you get in a set because they are way, 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 way too light. Just incredibly light. Nice to use, but incredibly light. But I found myself having to go over and over. Oh my God, it's still not dark enough. It's still not dark enough. It's still not dark enough. Do you still do pendulum in a smooth slow motion while you are on 9 volts? Yes, I do. Yep. Everything is pendulum or the other technique that I'm messing around with. The thing is, what you've got to remember with it is 9 volts on a free, say a free liner, is a lot different than 9 volts on a mag. So you've got to take that into account when it comes to voltage and stuff and the different types of needles. Keep the questions coming, peeps. Could you maybe do a demonstration video on that? The difference. The difference, like with uh, like needles and shading. Do you use stipple technique for texture? Sometimes, depends what I'm doing. It's mainly on animals like lions and stuff in short fur. But yes, I will use stipple. But it's not just stipple. There's other things involved. How do you feel about face tattoos? Big commitment. Big commitment. So you'll find now a lot of, these days people go straight to the face, like they'll have something over their eyebrows, or like something around here, or they'll have something down the side. Like they'll have absolutely no tattoo, and then that's what they get. So it's becoming now more accepted just to do that. Like as an artist, though, if no one's got any tattoos and you tattoo somebody's face, I think that's a little bit irresponsible. So face tattoos, if somebody's covered, fair enough. If they're not covered, then no. A lot of people, like, what they'll tend to do now is they'll have like a hand tattoo, a neck tattoo, and then they'll wear a jumper. So when the jumper's down, right, they look covered. Like yeah, man, I've got my neck done, I've got my hands done, like I'm balling. And like, but then they take the top off and they just look absolutely stupid. Like there's just no substance there. Um, uh, yes, the needles and voltage. Potentially, yeah, I could probably do that, and how different needles affect. Yeah, sure, I could probably do that. I'll put it on the list. Do you mix inks in the tube? Yes, I do. Um, more like that's more for like um color where I'm mixing in tube a lot more, but uh when it comes to black and gray, yes, I'm always dipping between different tones. Who is your all-time favorite tattoo artist? Again, Ralph Nonweiler, like hands down. There's no one past or present that even comes close to Ralph Nonweiler. So, what other techniques do you use to create texture other than stippling? I use a combination of stipple, mag, and round shader, and it just depends on um, you know, the reference that I'm working from. So it's always generally on top of the nose, on like a lion or a leopard or some shit like that. Um, no worries, dude. I'll see you later. Um, So it's always like on top of nose on short fur, but it's stipple, round shader, different combinations of round shaders to get different things, and then yeah, mag. Mm. I don't know if I've asked before, but I'm really struggling to have consistent shading, one light color instead of a gradient. Any advice? Um, what the hell? What's happened? Okay. Can you guys still hear me? You guys hear me? What the hell? Okay. I'm just gonna try and sort this out, guys, but I'll still keep answering questions. I'm sorry. Um, where were I? Well, that's threw me right off. Oh yeah, I don't know if it was asked before, but I'm really struggling to have consistent shading, one light color instead of a gradient. If you could just like elaborate on that a little bit, Pistachio, that'd be awesome, my dude. I might just be reading the question wrong. I don't know. Do you notice a difference between pushing and pulling the mag? Um, mm, Not really. Not really. They both have their like, they both have their um quirks. No, they both have their like, what's the word I'm looking for? Um, mm, Fuck. What word am I looking for? They both have their thing. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but they both have their thing that works. So, but as for like smooth shading or anything like that, no. Have you ever got to a point in your career where you've reached a very good level and want to improve, but didn't know how to or where to get the info? You says Shane. Yes, lad. You says fucking hell, man. Right. Yeah, so like I've been at a point where it's mainly when you're working around artists that you um like that you get better than them and you just progress. So yeah, I've been there where you do get better and you just don't know where to turn or how to get better, but you just got to like, you've just got to move with the, move with your own progression. So when you're at that point, try to get into a different studio, and then I'm not saying you're going to jump from studio to studio or anything like that, but that's one thing that you can do is just go and work with new artists. But then you can also go and do guest spots. A lot of artists do guest spots to work with people that they are inspired by, and then while they're there, they'll ask like a million questions. So there's things that you can do. You've just got to put yourself out there. I don't know. I think my camera might have overheated here. Did my camera overheat? Let's have a look. Start streaming from connector. Am I back? Right, my camera's back on. Oh, hang on. Oh, dude, I don't know what's happening with this. No idea. Right. I'm apologize that the camera's gone, guys. But we'll just carry on for a little bit longer. Do you play any games on your PC? Yes, I do. I have been playing. I'm a big Destiny player, so I play Destiny. But now I've just got the new COD, so I'll be smashing that for a bit. Do you use different voltage between round shader and curved mag? Let's say 9 round shader. Yeah. So when it comes to round shaders, there is like, yeah, you do have to play with your voltage a little bit. It took me a long time to figure out that putting it down helps. So Have you ever encountered something phenomenal in the spirits of Halloween? Have I ever encountered anything phenomenal? I've been like around when there's some strange shit that's happened, for sure, but I won't say it's paranormal. That's a phenomenal then. Yeah, paranormal is what I meant. Oh my god. This guy. What would you do if a chick's private parts exactly resembled your beard? I would get stuck in, my man. I would get stuck in. Nice one, thank you. I have my own studio, but I feel I'm in a bit of a bubble. Guest spots are definitely something I'm looking into. How would you feel about doing constructive criticism on other tattoos? I do like critiques and all the time. Like I do critiques on Patreon. Like if any of you join Patreon, and you pick like the tier, you get access to a Discord server, and then you can put all your tattoos in there. You get as much critique as you want. So yeah, I do that. How I create a one shade area, let's say 60% dark, instead of having different tones around that area. If I'm doing a neck, I want to be one light shade, but end up getting it inconsistent dark all over. Okay, so let's say that you are doing like I'm just trying to break down your question a little bit. How do you create a one shade area, let's say 6% dark, instead of having different tones around that area? So what I think you mean is like you are using like in mid tone, and then it is going darker in places than in other places. I think that's what I'm gathering. And if that's the case, then it just comes down to technique and not going over the same area. Like everything needs to be methodical. At least my camera might have died, guys, but at least I can eat my noodles now. So you guys can look at the freeze frame of my gorgeous face. And my incredible beard that gets stuck into chicks' private parts. No, it's all right, Pistachio. Don't worry. It's just I was just trying to break it down so I could answer it the best for you. But it's just technique, my man. It's just technique. If it's going darker in places, it's generally because you've just gone over that particular area, maybe one or two passes more, or you're overlapping. So it's just technique. Dude, I don't think there is there? Can you imagine? That'd be mint. If any of you do want to like join my Patreon, by the way, the link's in the description. Yeah, that's fine, dude. That's why I do it. Dude, I wish I'd have done like I genuinely wish I'd have done fucking YouTube like 5 or 6 years ago. but I never did because I was so scared of what the industry would think about me. Because I'd worked so hard to try and establish myself in the industry. I didn't want to, I didn't want people thinking bad of me, but how times change. I do wish I'd done this like years ago. I agree though, dude. These types of videos are awesome. People get to you as they get to know you as a person. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. Dude, like if you guys meme that, that'd be fucking awesome. Like, please meme this. Like, I give permission for every one of you to meme this. Fab, I'll be doing Patreon when I get back. Sweet. Yeah, man. Once you sign up, I'll message you on Patreon. I'll give you the link to the Discord. And the Discord, all it does, it just ensures that you get your critiques by me, you get your questions answered by me when you need them and stuff. Obviously, I am working and I am tattooing myself, so I can't be on it 24/7 like I'd want to be. But yeah, you'd get your questions answered and critiques and stuff. So yeah, it's good. It's good. Do you plan to stick with the one shader for a long time? I recently saw the Unultron pen from Blad. I was thinking of adding to my collection. I own the one shader at the moment. I will not be sticking to the one shader, but I will be sticking with Bishop. So I will get the wand packer at some point. Yeah. Fucking dude, seriously, like meme it, man. Meme it. The moment you realize you're all they're all noodles in a private pot. Yeah. Yeah, for sure. Can you imagine that? Or can you imagine if like you went like down there on a girl on like a one night stand or something and she had noodles already there for you? That'd be nuts. What are your thoughts on the new Rook One machine? No, I've not used it. I've not had an opportunity to use it. I was the Rook Quill machine. I still use that from time to time. I love it. But I've not had the I've not used the other one now. Create a one-on-one mentoring 100% people interested. I already do, Pistachio. I do one-to-one seminars. One-to-one seminars, I like them because they're a bit more personal and you're not speaking to a billion people in a room, and it gives the opportunity for that person to feel, they get 100% attention. So yeah, I already do one-to-ones. Oliver Air as the Packer at 4.5 volts. It's incredible. I've not seen. I don't really watch any I don't watch any other YouTube channels. I can't. I tend to keep myself to myself. I'd love to collab with people and stuff like other YouTube channels. I think it'd be good, and it definitely help growth to this channel. But I don't really watch I don't really watch these people. Dr. K. Turcott, Chris, you've got to check out this guy. He's from the same province. Let's have a look. Is he on Instagram? I'll check him out on Instagram right now. Instagram. Let me just copy that. Boom, copy. I'm having to explain to you what I'm doing because there's no freaking camera. Let's have a look. Is he on there? Derek Turcott. Yeah. 315,000 followers. Let's have a look. Oh yeah. Yeah. I'm currently, because I'm having to explain what I'm doing right now, currently looking at the Ninja Turtles one that is done. Yeah, I love that. That's really good. Going down to the Rugrats leg piece. That's quite cool. Yeah, I like it. Yeah, dude's good for sure. I love the Dragon Ball Z one, but I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, so I'm gonna love that one. No worries, Brendan. I will do, dude. Where can I sign up? If you're serious and you want to, you want the one-on-one seminars, whether that be whichever one it is, because like I said, I do 3 different ones. But you can get the information by emailing. The email is ravageseminar@gmail.com. And I will put it in the thing now. So it's ravageseminar@gmail.com. I copy that. Boom. Edit. Paste. Boom. So if you want if anyone wants to contact me about the seminars, then you can on that email there. My son Hendrix is 14 on the 1st of November and he's just started his apprenticeship on fake skin. Any advice for him? Listen to dad. I would say don't think you know it all, because you don't. And if he's not with you, Shane, which I can't see why not, it won't be, then I would say to take it on the chin. And whatever happens, just push forward. All right. I want to get this camera working again. I don't know how I can get this camera working again. Right. Okay. Right. Live streaming. As always on. Yep. Okay. Boom. I wonder. Let me see if I can sort this camera out, because I bet you I can't. On the edit. Customer. No. Cancel that. It's not on the edit. Dude, how can you not edit features when you're live? Webcam stream. You don't have access to this feature. What is YouTube playing at? I think you may just need to restart the stream for it to work. I'm not sure. Potentially, more than likely, but we'll end the stream shortly. Like the camera's not been on, is bugging me. Need one more advice, please. I never used stipple shading method before. I'm using Dragonfly X2 with cartridges, and I was experimenting with 7-round line at 5 to 6 volts. A needle was just bouncing off the skin. See, like for stipple, you need it to bounce off the skin. Like that's the whole idea of stipple. So you're definitely on the right like tracks. I would just personally just try to slow your hand down a little bit, maybe use a smaller liner. But then it could also be to do with your Dragonfly. Now, let me just have a look at the Dragonfly X2, because if the Dragonfly X2 has got a back spring or a spring, and then you've got your cartridge has got a spring in it as well, then that's going to affect it, the way that your machine works when you're stippling. So you might need to take out your back spring. But let me just have a little look at the Dragonfly. I can't remember. I honestly can't remember which which machine it is that had the back spring. What you did is you removed the give off the back, and then you removed the back spring, and then your machine wasn't working over time against the spring in the cartridge and the spring on the machine. But it could be that also. The thing is, like, is the Dragonfly is it a cartridge machine though? Like, or oh my god, let me have a look at the X2 because I'm so out of whack with machines these days. All right, so it's not a cartridge machine. It's like the original Dragonfly. So try taking your back spring off. Try taking your give knob off and see if there's a spring there, and remove your back spring. And then see if that gives you, the look that you're going for. You're using a cartridge on a standard like bar needle machine, so that could be a problem. And get rid of that spring is gonna help. What's your music of choice when tattooing? Oh, mate, anything. Like I am like me and Raf, my apprentice, was going through this the other day. Like other day, we had like a proper nostalgic playlist that we was listening to, like all the bands that we used to listen to that we grew up on as kids and stuff. So, Sum 41, Offspring, Blink 182. We listened to Trivium. We listened to Atreyu. We listened to what else did we listen to? Fuck, just all those bands. Like, yeah, man, all sorts. But if I was to say, like, my go-to playlists would be Wadruna. Sometimes I listen to a blues playlist, a blues rock playlist. Sometimes I listen to a classical playlist. Sometimes I listen to a Hans Zimmer playlist, and then I listen to like rock, metal. So it thing is, man, it varies. I like new metal. I think like I'm into new metal a lot at the moment, where it's very like melodic, but there's still the scream in it. The new Lamb of God album is pure gold. I shall listen to that, dude. I'll have a listen. What did you think to the new Iron Maiden album that came out not so long ago? Dude, I'd love to see Hans Zimmer in concert. Like, he did a tour. I think he's doing another one. And I'd love to see Wardruna in concert as well. Like, if you go on YouTube and you look at you search Wardruna, they did one of their songs in like a cave, and it just like reverbs around, and it's just sounds amazing. Thank you, Chris. I got to go now. Stay safe. Yeah, you too, my man. I'll see you in the next live. Okay, so we'll go for a couple more minutes, guys. We're at 1 hour 56. I think we'll go to 2 hours and then we'll knock it on the head. I'm going to go play some cards. Again, I apologize that I did not get a video out today because I clearly need a new microphone, but yeah. Yeah, man, definitely, dude. Yeah, sure. I'll come see you, man. Be a good night out. If you got any more questions, guys, just get them in right now, and then once I've answered them, I shall be off. But I will live stream again. I'll be live streaming some more tattooing and stuff, and I don't know what's happening with the live streams on when I'm tattooing, guys. I really don't. Like, they just cut out at like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. But I will be doing like some more live streams, tattoos. I'll do some more live stream Q&As, and I'll keep the videos coming. When packing black, circles or pendulum? Circles, and then pendulum when I want to blend off of black. You could go back and forth though. Like, you just need to be a little bit, less light. Yeah, no problem, David. That's fine, man. You could, like, the thing with packing black, right, is so black is one of the hardest things to pack. It really is. Like, Ticket Easy Dude, I'll message you about it. Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. Whenever you want, man. Whenever you want. Yeah, the thing with packing black is it is one of the hardest things to do in tattooing, to do right. It really is. To not overwork, to get it consistent throughout. Like, a lot of people, like, the depth changes on black all the time. They're changing the needle depth constantly. They change their hand speed. They get faster. Not only that, but they keep dipping in black, and then they start diluting their black with blood and stuff, and then it starts to get harder to, pack in because it's now diluted. So it really is one of the hardest things to do. So the best thing is, no matter which way you do it, is just be consistent with your technique and just be methodical with it. Right, guys, that is the 2 hour mark. I thank you all for coming in and your questions and stuff. like I said, I will do this again at some point. Depending on how they go, you know, I might make it a bi-monthly thing or something like that. I don't know, but I don't want to do too many of these because if anybody, you know, is on Patreon, I don't want to do a disservice to them guys that are paying to get their questions answered and stuff. So I do have to be mindful of that. If you do, again, want to sign up to my Patreon, there'll be a link in the description. And yeah, guys, it has been emotional. I will see you all in the next live or video. Peace out, people. Muchas love.